Well, thanks for taking the time to do this. It is something I really appreciate you doing.
No, thanks for the time and for the space.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's my absolute pleasure. First things first, 2022. How's it been treating you so far?
It's been good.
Yeah.
Busy.
In it,
we,
yeah.
we we released the album back in January, and then we went on the road supporting Vader and Marduk, some countries in Europe and in the UK, and hopefully gonna keep that busy thing during the year. But yeah, it's been busy. It's been nice. A good feedback when we were on the road as well. That's nothing to complain so far.
No, it's good, man. You've already got more under your belt this year than most people did over the last couple of years. Talking of which, like the last couple of years, the Risen Dread, do you guys feel like you've kind of ridden out the COVID wave as best as possible and got to the other side in the strongest position you possibly could be in?
Yeah, the COVID we did was we tried to get the album done as best as we could. Um, Before COVID, we had the tour booked in for April of 2020. Of course, that didn't happen. A lot of things we couldn't practice. We couldn't do much because of lockdowns and the restrictions. And every time they kind of eased up a bit of the restrictions, like yeah, let's get back to practice and finish the tracks. We booked the studio to record the album. We postponed. Then we have to postpone again. At the end, we ended up changing studio to record in Belfast. Uh, Otherwise, we'd have to wait into November last year to record the album. And the plan that we had was we have we must have the album out by the time the pandemic started kind of say nearly gone or things start getting back to normal, because we want to be on the road straight after, and we want to have a brand new material to promote.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to miss that timing, which was very so that's why we end up changing the studio to record in July. We recorded up in Belfast. Then we got Kai from Cold Keller Studio in Germany to mix and master the album. And from there, we just worked on videos, releasing the singles, and we got with the tour, we got the album, everything sorted, the dates. We already had the dates in mind, like planned out. This day is gonna be this single. This day is gonna be the other single. The other day is gonna be the other single. Then the album we're gonna drop on that day. We're gonna drop a single before the album, a video single before the album. So we had everything planned, structure-wise, dates set. After we got the mastered, like after we like that's the master done. Cool. Now we can work the dates. And yeah, I'd say we tried to do the most. We wanted to release the album before, but of course we couldn't. Let's say all bands and everything they got. Everybody was impacted somehow by the COVID. So we also struggled mentally with the lockdowns, the band, some of the members, and so a few of the lyrics in the album person to someone in the band. And yeah, but in terms of the result, we cannot complain at all.
Yeah, I'm glad you got there in the end. I mean, it sounds like a hefty experience just trying to get the damn thing together and get it out, let alone just getting through the pandemic in general during that period. And it's fantastic, as you said, that this incredible tour with Vader and Marduk just came about recently. Overall for you, how was the tour and the reaction, the live reaction, particularly with so many different countries, different places played? What was it like for you guys?
Yeah, it was. We were very unsure because we are not the same style as they are.
Yeah.
We are like, kind of like they are very, they're old school death metal, black metal. We are not that. We're not about speed. We're not about blast beating. And I was like, is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? But let's go for it. Like we had the chance. We're like, we're not gonna say no.
Mm.
Um, then we jump uh, we started. So they started the tour before we joined a second date in Helmond, in Netherlands. First gig was shite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not because of the crowd, not because we had technical problems. We practiced the set list for the entire set list. We're gonna play fine during the practice, fine. Then we got there, we're gonna do the sound check, and we started having problems with one of the backing tracks. I was like, that's not working, it's not working, and then tried to fix during the sound check, but we have very limited time for the sound check. And so I was like, it's not gonna work. So then we ended up like, cool, we're gonna be on stage 7. So I'm gonna try to fix this. If I can fix, fine. If I cannot fix, we remove the track from the set list.
Mm.
And then I went up the backstage. All right, so I was like, the guy's like, look, we have Jenner. I was like, I'm gonna try to fix this. Then I kind of I ate it a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna go back to the laptop, try to fix that. As soon as I sat down, the guitar tech was like, you guys are up in 10 minutes. I was like, it's not 7. I was like, no, it's a half 6. I was like, oh. So we end up back in the stage. Like, okay, we got removing that track from the set list. We played one. I'd say probably played 25 minutes because we removed the track.
Mm.
After that, second gig was in Germany. And then I kind of like sat down with the laptop for 10 minutes, try to fix. I already had in my mind, if that doesn't fix, I'm changing the set list, and that's gonna be the set list for we add a new track. We do the sound check with the new track, so see if everyone's comfortable with that track, then that's fine. It didn't get it working, so like let's do this. I just got the guys in the vans, like, can you do that? Yeah, cool. After that, set list was smooth as really good, and we, in terms of countries, we had a really good feedback in Germany. All places that we play in Germany, we played 3 dates in Germany. There was Marsburg, Weihen, and the last one was Bochum. And the feedback that we got from people was really cool. We saw a lot of merches on those dates as well, and people were like, "Oh, it's nice to see a band that's different from the other ones
Yes.
in that tour." And as a matter of fact, I think there were 3 or 4 people in second date in Marsburg that they came to talk to us like, "We came to see you. We didn't came to see the other guys. We came to see
Amazing.
you because they always bring extreme metal bands to town, but they never bring bands like you." As soon as we saw your names on the poster, they already knew the band. It's like, we got to know the band by internet, and we liked it. So then we came to see you. But like, I was like, that's amazing. Like, we didn't expect that. We also had a really good feedback in London, where we played in the garage, in Manchester as well. Those are the best in terms of crowd feedback that we had. Was really cool. We had a technical mission in Glasgow. One of the triggers of the drum bass was failing, and it killed the whole set list. So and especially for that one, I had the monitors with a good kick in there, and I could see the kick was failing. And I played the entire set list annoyed. I was like, it's not working, it's not working. And our drum started for the second one because the trigger was falling from the kick. But on that one in Glasgow, we hopefully gonna be back there to play to have a better performance on stage for them, because we left the stage very frustrated with
Yeah.
that one. So those two gigs, Hellman, because they are both technical issues that we had, was very frustrated. I was just a bit disappointed. We couldn't give the performance that we wanted.
Sounds like technical issues, of course, they come up. You gave it your best, and I'm so glad that it went so well. After that, it was just a technical issue, and then the rest of the tour up to Glasgow went brilliantly. And technical issue,
Yeah.
they say it's something that you return later on, that further down the line, and you kick Glasgow's ass instead.
Yeah. When I was talking to guys, Marduk guys, one of the dates, and then they were asking how we were feeling about the tour, and I was like, it's been fine. It's like that was before Glasgow. Like, we had technical problem on the first day, and after that, it's been fine. And he was like, yeah, first day of the tour is always bad. Like it's always a lot of things to go wrong, and you like get things rolling, and then you basically automatically know what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do each day. You know,
Yep.
the whole process is gonna be pretty much the same. Like the first day is always a bit. You might have technical, like he even said you guys had technical problem, but you might have a bit of problem on sounding or not really comfortable playing for whatever reason on that
Yeah.
day, and you like, and especially because it had been 2 years since our first gig actually. The last gig was in January 2020, and then the first gig was that gig in the tour after that. So there were a
Was
lot
it?
of there were a lot of rooms for mistakes anyway.
Yeah, for sure. And I have to ask, was it easy then, considering that massive gap between dates and the last time playing live to now? Was it easy for you to kind of slip back into the touring life, particularly when you're going throughout Europe?
Uh Not really actually. Not I think, when you, it doesn't matter how much, like it does matter how much you practice because you get better on that. But when you practice in the studio, it's different when you're on the stage. So that's you practice, as I said, we practiced at least fine, and then we got there that we had a problem that we didn't have during the practice, and we used the same laptop, the same software, and this just didn't work. But it went. I was a bit nervous for the first day, but I was so happy because we had a big stage. We could have uh, the stage layout the way that we wanted. We had the backdrop, we had the drums, we had all the guitar caps. The layout of that gig was really nice.
Yeah.
And but I think from the second one, because changed the we changed the set list around. It kind of like, I'm not sure about the guys, but it took the weight off my shoulder.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I played, and I remember I was playing Why Night. That was our fifth song, and I was like, oh, it's been great. Like playing, like the set list being running as smooth as could be.
Yeah.
Um, then from there was just, yeah, especially because we we got people to interact. We got a lot of people like interact with us when we were playing the stage.
Hmm.
That was really nice. When we were playing Vihan, when we were on stage Vihan, the place was already packed.
Yeah.
So we got the energy of the crowd, and and the feeling that I think of the tour, that was the best gig for me,
Yeah.
because I like, even though we had big stages on the other dates, Vihan was a small club, so it was everyone packed, everyone in front of the stage, everyone there, and then you had that interaction with people that they're in front of you. And then after that, they come to talk to you like about your performance, about the songs, about that they liked, and a lot of things. And that's where you got feedback, like, oh yeah, no, it's nice to have different bands in here. And then we sold a lot of merch, we talked to a lot of people, we even gave autographs on that day.
Oh,
uh,
awesome.
so
That's
that
amazing.
was kind of, because we went, as soon as we finished the set list, we didn't have anyone for the merchandise, so we went back
Of
to the
course.
merchandise stand to sell the merch, and that's where we talked to people in there. But yeah, it was yeah, but it was a bit nervous on the first day, and especially because things went wrong. We got the schedule wrong. We thought we'd be on stage 7. It was 5:30, so we kind of rushed to the stage. The drummer had to, when I told him it's 10 minutes, he had to rush the van to get his clothes. So everything was kind of, even though everything was already set up, the stage was already set up, drum kit was already there. We already had done the sound check. We were the first band, but it was just that uh, feeling. And yeah, after 2 years, it would be weird anyway.
Yes, it would have been weird anyway, as you say. You already mentioned it, but it should be worth knowing that obviously the tour was great, success and a huge thing for you guys. But as you said already, it's not the only thing that was big for you guys this year. Nighthag released at the end of January this year, 2022. So the dust is beginning to settle on that album a bit. It's been a couple of months. Bearing that in mind, and up to this point, how have you found the reaction to the album overall?
I'm very surprised on some of the reviews that we got
Yeah.
because we didn't plan to sound the way that it is there because we got a lot of reviews comparing us to a metalcore band, uh, and I think that happened, let's say, like kind of by mistake.
Yeah.
Um, we we had a lot. We all had a different influence, like background. I come with a lot of death metal. I used to play thrash death metal band,
Okay.
and so I come with that. I come with that background like Vader. um, we had the vocalist that he's very he likes death black, but he also likes a lot of thrash metal bands. Um, we had the drummer that he's very he's a fan of uh, drums that like bands that had really technical drummer. Like
Oh.
he's a very fan of Lamb of God, Chris Adler. He's he's fan of Tired's Murder.
Okay. Yep.
And our basis is more like a new metal. He likes Korn, Slipknot, that kind. So we blend that together when we create songs. Uh, in the way the process works, like I have a riff. Sometimes I have the structure in mind. I have the whole structure riff wise in mind. Then I start jamming and see what works, what doesn't work. But I think when we went to the studio and start recording,
Mm.
and we were like, we sound way heavier than we thought we would be. Like the first, like we had the drums. The way that we didn't do the way that most of bands do. They record the drums, then you go there, record the bass, then the guitar. What we did is like first week, 4 tracks, everything. So then drums 4 tracks, bass 4 tracks. Then I went there guitar 4 tracks, except for the solos and leads, and then vocals 4 tracks.
Mm.
Especially because we had two guesses, so we want to send the full tracks of those, the full song for them.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
so they could add like Renato was, let's say, more trick to Renato because he had to add the orchestral arrangement. So he was like, "Give me the it does it's like it doesn't need to mix, just give me the full one edit,
Right.
so then I can do my work." We had that kind of time. So we do 4 tracks in the first week because we did four. I think we did 5 days in the first week, then 4 days on the second week, and then 3 days or 4 days on the third week.
Mm.
So like we have that 4 tracks per week and a bit of spare at the end to if you want to change anything.
Yeah.
In on actually in the first week we ended up doing 5 because we on Saturday we had finished all the 4. Then on Sunday it's like, oh, let's do another one. So
Yeah.
then we did another one. So drums, guitar, bass, and vocals on Sunday. But after the first day that I recorded the guitars, and I was like, that sounds heavy. Like that sounds way different than I thought it would sound. Like I just didn't expect. And then when we sent the tracks to be mixed and mastered, um, they did that tweak there. I asked them what they did. They said one of the guitar lines they had to reamp my guitar because of there was missing a punch. There was
Okay.
missing a punch on that line. So then they used the same. They use a different head. I think they use EVH head for that one. It's like that's the only thing. Like I had to reamp that, and I was like, I'm happy with the guitar tone. Like, then we did. So when we fully back listens, like, and getting the feedback saying that's metalcore, I get where it's coming from because when it sounds close, the Marco has that kind of um, vocals that's very close to metalcore, even though we don't have any clean vocals because
Yep.
metalcore bands they usually have clean vocals in it. But in terms of how he delivered his vocals and changed from growling to what's the name again? I can't forget. Frying to growl. That I think that kind of gave that vibe of being. And yeah, we have influence. Like I like As I Lie Dying. I like Parkour Drive.
Yep.
Even though we're not heavy as Parkour Drive, we don't play the same tune as they do.
No.
Um, but I like them, and I think the whole blend it makes sense sometimes. And I think we have tracks that they are different ways. We have tracks that's very death thrash metal. We have tracks that's very, it would be called kind of like metalcore. We have tracks that's very groovy, and we have the Nighthag, which is the slow one, um, totally different of the other ones.
Yeah.
That's how we wanted to do on that track.
What about the fan reaction? So perhaps the comments you read on social media, YouTube comments and things like that. What's that response been like for you?
It's a mix. We have people that they like, people that they dislike, which is
Yep.
fine. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but most of the people that I know that they listen to the album, they have different uh, tracks that they like the most.
Okay. Yeah.
And it does make sense because they have different background on some of them they like heavy metal, and then when they like heavy metal, they tend to like the Nighthag because it's slow harmony and that kind of thing. And people that they like fast, they tend to like Psychosis, the first track. They tend to like Fallen, which is when they listen, and some of them they listen back to the following version that we had on the EP. And it's like that sounds different. It's like yeah, productions like we recorded that one faster um, than the EP. I think the EP was 190. Then we ended up recording the album in 200. But sound wise, yes, we added a solo that did not have a solo. So there are a few things that we changed, and few a few of my friends that they're guitarists, they don't get the why we don't have solos in all the tracks.
Right.
And for me personally, I just don't think that all tracks need a guitar solo.
Of course.
Like I was like the tracks that if I feel that needs, if you, and not only me, if the entire band feels like oh we need a guitar solo in there, or we need something in the track, and then we end up trying different things, and sometimes it's the solos are there, sometimes it's just a solo, it's not a solo, sometimes
Yeah.
it's a lead, it's just a lead, or or something that for me it's not crucial to have solo as a guitarist. I know a lot of bands, most of the bands they do solo in all tracks, and it's hard to say it doesn't make sense to have solo in that track because once you listen to the track with the solo,
Yeah. Don't know.
you already got used to that one, to that style.
But you can recognize sometimes when it's a solo has been kind of jammed in there and probably didn't need to be, you know.
Yeah, but in that's what I kind of got a mix of people like oh, I rather have guitar solos on. I was like, yeah, but I'm not. It's just not me. Like it's not only it's not me. It's not the style of the band. We don't want to have a solo in our tracks. We don't have. I don't want to have the moment in the track that it has to be my moment. Like unless it needs something there, and my solo hours, I try to work on a solo that it fits with the track.
Yeah.
Like if it is a fast track, it has to be a fast solo in some parts, and if it's not a fast track. So I always try to do that way. I people might like or not. I know people, especially guitarists, they won't like that, but I'm fine with that, and it is the style. But in general, we got a lot of good comments in the Facebook, good comments on YouTube of the singles that we released. Yeah, like in general, cannot complain. Like
that's it. If you can't complain, it's as good as you can to get at this stage.
Yeah, like it is, and as I said, people will like, people won't like.
Yeah.
It's fair enough because everyone has different tastes. As long as we try to get our music in front of most of people, and we expect people to come back and say, "I didn't like that shit." That's fine.
Yeah.
It's our taste. If you don't like, don't like. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I rather have a feedback saying, "I didn't like that. I don't like that."
Yeah.
That's fine. Rather than people say, "Oh, it's cool." It's like being like very vague. Like, if you don't
Right.
like it, if you don't like it, don't like. Like, it's fine. it is what it is. It's the
No, of
same for me.
course.
If I don't like something, I just say I don't like that. It's
If
not.
only life was that simple.
Huh?
If only life was that simple and
Yeah,
people could be that direct.
I think people nowadays they're more uh, saying, let's say, I don't know, very. I'm trying. It's not sentimental, but like I cannot say that it just like something because you disagree, or just like it's music, or it's the same as the food. You don't like you don't like pasta. If you don't like pasta, that's fine. I'm not gonna kill because you don't like pasta. Like it's just a preference taste. Like some uh, and it is okay. And the thing it's okay to tell the artist that you don't like their song. I'm okay having that feedback. Saying I don't like your song.
Yeah.
Fine. I have a problem when people start attacking. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But you say, look, I don't like the song. I listen to the album. It's not my cup of tea. That's fine. Cool. It's not a problem. But then people's like, oh, there's one thing that it did annoy me was one of review that we got that it felt a very personal attack.
Right.
Was all about this is shite, this is shite, this is shite, and it's like, cool, this is shite, but why this is shite? I want to know
Yeah.
why. It like just saying that it's horrible. Since you reviewed the album, you have to give me the reasons why that's bad.
Yeah.
But then um, I went to the page and then I found the guy who did the review, and then I saw his perfect tastes. It's like a guy who likes what he liked, like Deep Purple. It's tricky on that style on old school rock bands
Right.
that I like. That I like. I'm very old. I like a lot of old school heavy metal bands like Geo. I love Geo, for instance.
Yeah.
But then I think I get why he didn't like. But I was expecting to say like at least saying this is not the song that it's not type of music that I like. That's why I just like the whole thing. But he just gave a vague feedback, and that's very disappointing. I don't. We got feedback saying, um, of for some people the album was a bit tiring. Listen to the entire album. It's
Right.
fine. And even if some of them say like, look, some if you liked it, they even gave you some examples like if you like this style's band or this style, you're gonna like that. But it's not the style the bands that I like, which is fine. That's what I usually expect for feedbacks. And if you're just a normal person, if you don't do a review, just listen to the album, say, look, yeah, I don't like it. But I don't get the point that you have to go on the artist page and say, what do you do is shite.
Yeah.
Because we haven't caught that a lot, but I've seen artists getting that. I was like, why do you have to like? Because if you like something, you're not gonna go to the art space saying, "Oh, I love your work." But if you just like, you actually have to make a point to dislike. Like, it's just the world has been weird with social media nowadays, and I think people trying. It's not people trying to get their opinion out, trying to get their negative opinion out
Yeah.
all
The
the time.
loudest voices are the most negative out
Yeah,
there.
and it generate clicks. It's clickbait.
Thing is, like, for me, there's so much to really enjoy in it. And I want to touch upon a couple of specific ones as well. Of course, you have some impressive and distinctly different guests on the album. Of course, Sepultura's Andreas Kisser, who provides his guitar skills on White Knight.
Yeah.
How big of an honor was it for you guys to get him involved? And how did that come about?
It came about. So Marco, the vocalist, he's a friend of Renato's. He's Renato's friend. And Renato's the guy who did the orchestra arrangement for us on the last track and also the intro of the album.
Mm.
And Renato's like, we already had the riff that I have for the Nighthag. I had that since we recorded the EP.
Okay.
So I knew it was going to be a slow track, and it would need different elements to add to the track. Then Marco asked Renato if he would do that for us. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that for free, no problem.
Oh,
Like,
sweet.
it's is his personal friend. He's very close. They were best man of his wedding.
Oh,
Um, but Renato is also the guy who did a lot of intros and sound effects for the past three Sepultura albums, including Quadra, Machine Messiah, and I can't remember the other one before. And he's a personal friend of Andreas. So that was the connection. Then we asked Renato to ask Andreas, would you record a solo in our tracks? And back then, Sepultura was busy with the Sepulcarta. Uh, every Wednesday videos and trying to as a musician that you live on that. You need to keep that ball rolling, get the money in, try to, you know. And he was like, I would do it, but I'm busy with my projects and I want to be able to do it. And and I don't want to do things that is gonna sound shy. I just don't want to do that. And yes, of course, his name is gonna be there as well. And I was like, oh no, that's fine. But then we end up postpone the first recording, the second one as well. And then we asked Renato asking again. And then was Marco's birthday. And Andreas was in Renato's house. And when I was like, I'm gonna record a video to my friend that is his birthday. He's also your fan of Sepultura's fan. And remember the guy who asked for the recording for the solo? He said, yeah, remember. Oh, fire out the camera, and then we gave him a happy birthday. During his happy birthday, he's like, hey Marco, yeah, happy birthday, blah blah blah. Remember the solo that you asked me? I'm gonna give you that as my birthday gift.
Oh.
And then Marco couldn't believe. He sent me the video because it was in Portuguese and I'm Brazilian, so I couldn't watch the video. I was like, oh, Andreas, now we have that in the video. Then after we record the album, we sent the track. We chose the track, and he recorded it. I never spoke to him. Never got a chance. He not only recorded the track, he also promoted the band. He has a radio show in São Paulo that runs every Sunday night. So he also played the track that he's a guest. And then after we released the album, he listened to the album. He's like, I'm gonna play this track. And then we got to know that he was gonna play because the producer of the show texted us, messaged us on Facebook. He actually messaged me on WhatsApp saying, look, Andrea's gonna play this track by his choice this Sunday. And I was like, cool, great. So then of course we announced that. So he not only gave the solo, he went a bit further on that. We could not get him to do the video clip because that involves image and that involves other things. That is not only giving the solo. He was fine using his name. He was fine putting his name because he was the guest on it. But using the image, it's a lot of more things involved than just giving the a birthday thing.
Yeah.
Because but we are fine with that. Very happy with very happy that what he did. Hopefully I'm gonna meet him up when they're in Dublin. I think it's November. If we're not, if the recent Rat's not on the tour, same month.
Fingers crossed. I'm glad I'm glad such an incredible thing turned out the way it did. And you brought his name up a couple of times, but it has to be said what Renato does in regards to giving the Nighthag particularly, making that a super cinematic sounding track. You must have loved what he did.
Yeah, when we first listened to it, and he gave the explanation, he said why he's approached the way that he did it, and why he stopped his work in some parts of the track. And I is my favorite track of the album. It is my favorite track of the album. Like I like that and Sound of the Unknown. They are the two of my favorite tracks of the album. And that was the track that we had problem to play live that I had to remove on the set list. Me and Mark was like, oh man, I'm still pissed and not playing that one. It's like I was pissed on the first day, but then after the things worked out pretty well during the tour. I just got over, but that was a track that had a problem because for that one, since we have the elements all the way in the track until the very end, the drummer need the click. We had a problem splitting the signal click and for whatever reason left and right. One of them wasn't working at all. And the guy in the front house like, I'm not got anything here. I was like, you should get. And then I was like, then I plugged the phone. I put the phone. I was like, why is nothing on my right side? What the hell? Like that was working like 2 days ago when the practice was working. Now it's not working. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it is my favorite track of the album. It is. He did an amazing job. He brought a lot of even the violin when the violin starts. I think it's the second half of the verse. It's just amazing. Like I like the whole thing. But it is my favorite track of the album.
No, it is an amazing track, and the next tour that's there then. And talking of which, then I guess what plans you have in place for the remainder of 2022 that you can talk about, and what's the likelihood of you guys popping up on some festival lineups as we start to hit this sort of summery time?
We're trying to get some of the festival, but most of them. Not in the UK, but most of them in Europe, they had the lineup since the COVID because they didn't happen. We're still trying. Hopefully, we're gonna get there, but it's very hard at the moment to get in without someone that could work or have a good contact with those festivals. But we are hoping for the next year. Like I have a bunch of contacts to make. Small and big festivals for next year to see if we can get in. It's locked for next year's since it's going to be fully open.
Yeah.
All fest happening this year. Then hopefully next year we'll be able to get in the slot. I'm gonna try. I'm trying this year, but it's going to be really hard. I believe there might be some slot open in Bloodstock, but I'm not sure yet. And we're trying out a festival in another country as well. We have UK dates to announce soon. We're gonna do 4 dates in UK, probably in July, and we have a tour in Europe that's gonna go. I would say I'm assuming now because I don't have the places and the venues, but based on a talk to the agent, it's gonna be probably from Germany to the eastern part with Poland, Czech Republic. That's gonna be our headline tour. That's gonna be
nice.
Just us and see what's gonna happen. That's what we have so far. We haven't played in Dublin yet since we released the album. We're gonna try to get some dates in Ireland to do that as well. Probably either together with the dates in the UK or together with the European dates. But we're gonna try to. We don't want to play like every 2 months in Dublin either.
Of course.
So we want to play the right gig that we know we can perform well. So that's the plan. But yeah, let's see. I know you're already thinking on 2023.
Yeah.
Thinking what we can do 2023, the first half of 2023, until we get the summer, see if we can get festivals in the summer as well, 2023. Then we see what's going to happen from there.
That's incredible. I mean, that is such a busy lot of stuff already in the works for you. There's this strong sense of excitement that sort of feels surrounding the Risen Dread at the moment. The album released in January, coming off back of that tour, all your long-term plans. Do you feel the same excitement?
I feel because I'm very excited about the thing, and because I know what's about to come.
Cool.
Like it's. I look after the business side, so it's me talking to the agent, it's me talking to the guy, it's me approaching festivals, it's me talking to try to get the ball rolling more, say further down. Yeah, like I already have in mind a kind of plan for the first half of 2023,
Yeah.
but I need to sit down with the guys and see if everyone's happy with that. Because it is like we all have work, so
Of course.
it has to match to fit in everyone's schedule. And we all have work, we all have family. I have a daughter, so we have to get very well that see
Mm.
that what works, what doesn't work, and if it doesn't work, what we can do. But hopefully, we can announce something very nice for the first half of the next year, the way that we did for this year.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait. It's the trappings of a modern band, the difficulties you've got to do around scheduling, but either way, it's still a super exciting time, and fingers crossed everything goes your way.
Yeah. We hope. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of networking work to do it. But it is how things work. You need to make the right connections and make contacts to the right people that it can get you in good in front of audience. That's the main thing. Get to play to people, and at the end of the day, they might like or not, but that's what it is.
On that note, then we'll wrap this up. Do go check out Nighthag. It's out now, and keep an eye on your social medias for all these upcoming tours. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I massively appreciate it.
Thanks for the space. Hope you guys check it out. Keep the eyes on our social media. That's where we're gonna announce things that's to come, dates and maybe other things that might happen this year that we're just not in the plan.
Yep. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?